Good afternoon. Happy Friday, everybody. Making their way into the room. I saw the alert just hit, so we'll give everyone just a second here to make their way in. If you can see me, if you can hear me, put the appropriate VV in the comment section here. I see people making their way in the room. The viewership is moving its way up. All right, we got Ward here. Hey, Marvin. Smack This in the house. We got Matthew, Keith. Smack This says, happy Friday, right? I know it's always a good feeling when it's Friday, right? You know what else is a good feeling? When the markets are hitting new highs, right? That's always a good feeling. It usually means that your portfolio should be getting to a new high, right? As we take a look at the major indices, look at the Nasdaq. That's leading the charge right now. Did show some optimism, but starting to retrace from those session highs going into the lunch period here. 0.3%, while the other three major indices, the Dow Jones, S&P, along with the VectorVest composite, are all feeling the pressure right now. And we can see, just looking at the major indices, looks like the smaller to mid-cap companies feeling that pressure the most here. The VectorVest composite sliding the most right now, about 0.5% to the downside. Let's see here. Johnny says, good afternoon. They're all mixed today. John says, hello, Ryan. Hey, John, how are we doing today? But yeah, good. Nothing too crazy in the market today. If we take a look at our market timing signals, no real reasons concerned to be bearish at this time. The confirmed is up. The DEW is up. Greenlight buyer is up. Primary wave is up right now. We do have yellow lights across the board right now. You can see the market gauge is neutral, and VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. Now we can see the optimism in the market here. Oh, and just as a heads up, if you haven't heard already, next Saturday, Sunday, we will be hosting a 2-day investment seminar in Las Vegas. If you want to check it out, just go to vectorvest.com/Vegas. I realize the event's only a week away, so if you can't make it, it is going to be on YouTube. So if you want to learn, I've got speeches on ETFs, so a lot of ETF strategies and the NPI. But, Steve Chappell, Jerry D'Ambrosio, Ron Wheeler bringing a lot of good information, and it's free. It's on YouTube. It's going to be streaming for free. If you are going to be there in person, hey, that's even better. We get to hang out, maybe share a cocktail after the event. I've never been to Vegas. Looking forward to it. And I saw there was one item I did want to check out while I was in town, the Ice Bar. It's a bar completely made of ice. Looks really cool inside. It's right down the street from the Venetian, which the event will be held. So I'll probably try to check that out. So if you're in the area, maybe we can check it out together. Tabulous says, I thought what happened in Vegas, ... right? Most people don't stream what they're doing in Vegas, right? So it's going to be a party. Maybe not that wild, right? So that's why we're streaming it. But this information, we don't want to keep just in Vegas, right? We want to make sure that everyone gets access to this information. So Alfredo says you are going to enjoy it. Stay out of the casinos. Well, honestly, Alfredo, it's probably why I've never been, because I'm not a gambler. I'm not a card player. I'm not a, was it the slot machine thing? I'm not that. My mom is an avid gambler. Well, I should say avid Texas Hold'em person. She's done the cruise ships. She's done, traveled around the country for it. But yeah, I guess I gamble enough in the stock market and with options. I guess I didn't really need to go to Vegas to gamble, right? But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun here. We've got Sing 5 new in the house. Hey, from LA. Okay, I like LA. I've only been there once for a Panthers game back in the day when we had our undefeated season. Well, obviously until the Super Bowl. Still shaking my head on that. But that was the first season of the Rams. So I got to go. It was at the College Stadium. So that was a good one. Bill says, Ryan, I'll teach you how to play blackjack if you like. Bill, are you going to be in Vegas? Hey, well, I know the odds are best for blackjack. Marvin says you can't beat the house. VectorVest can beat the market. Yay, that's a good one. Can't beat the house, but VV can beat the market. Marvin, I might be stealing that slogan when we're in Vegas here. That's actually a really good one. Thank you for that, Marvin. Bill says, check out Grab finally moving. I did actually, Grab was on my radar this morning. I did see Grab quite a bit. Is interest rate news causing the market to rise? I think that is what's causing some exuberance in the market here. And I mean, inflation, it came in right on with expectations at 2.9%, a slight tick up. Everything was in line with expectations. I think if that number came in around 3% or 3.1, we'd be painting a little bit picture of a different story here, right? Marvin Lewis, that is excellent. Right, John? I thought that was really good. I thought it was good. All right, let's take a look at the DEW up signal here, because this is a signal that's really used for traders, especially swing traders. So, if you are swing trading right now, you see the DEW is up at this time. During this whole rally, there was just a little bit of warning here. The DEW lasted a couple days. No real big downturn coming from this fruition, but the DEW up signal went shortly right back to up signal once we got the momentum of the VectorVest composite there. And you see the VectorVest composite just charging right up to the upside. So, I can't complain. If you are looking to take profits, maybe consider if the primary wave goes back to down or the DEW goes back to down, right? But as of right now, I mean, with the markets moving up, like I said, the Nasdaq hitting a fresh time high, just make sure you stick with that, whatever, stops you had in place, whatever plan you made or had in place. Troy says NVTS is trending up. Excellent. I always get nervous when I do single stock videos, right? Because the last thing you want is to, do a video and the stock just goes poop, right? But NVTS, that looks like that was a good one. It's trending up here. I know it was pulling back. I said it in the video. Don't rush out and buy it that day. But hey, we'll take a look at NVTS today as well. I just wanted to put it on your radar. Tonight's video, it's going to be quantum stocks. I've been looking at quantum stocks the last few days. I saw price action. I saw the moving averages shaping up to, show a little bit of momentum because, if you've been watching quantum, a little bit of breather, not a whole lot of optimism or momentum there lately. But we're seeing that, and I saw that come to fruition. But today, IO&Q had a special analyst event, right? And the stock is up 15%. That's why I want to put it on your radar. So there's some key levels on the charts I talk about. So check out tonight's video, quantum stocks, and other very hot stocks, right? You're not going to get much value in the quantum space. At least like the qubits, the D-Wave, the IO&Q, there's not going to be much value there. If you're looking for value and want some quantum exposure, I mean, you probably want to check out something like Honeywell, a Google, a Microsoft. There's some other things in there. We've got the VectorVest watch list for quantum as well. You can always check that out for some ideas. I think it's time to take some profits into strength. John, I don't think that's a bad idea. Obviously, every stock is going to be different, but as long as the primary wave remains up, I'm not going to need a rush to take those profits off the table. Actually, let's take a look at the color guard here. See where we're at. Price of the VectorVest composite, 76.49, right? Look at Monday, September 8th here, 76.14. So come Monday, the VectorVest composite would have to be higher than 76.14, right? So come Monday, if there's any kind of, slight drop in the VectorVest composite, more than about 30 cents here, we could get that primary wave down, right? So that is a viable thing that could happen Monday if we don't get any more optimism to the moon. See you, John. Sorry, I read the comment while I was talking. Bill says, John said, A-Lab to the moon. Yeah, A-Lab is doing really good. I think it's time to take some profit. Oh, yeah, John. Yeah, I get that. And look at the declines right now. Broad market decline, 60.9%. I mean, I think the market was getting a little exuberant, just, the potential for an interest rate cut. I think a lot of that is kind of baked in right now. But again, the only reason we're, potentially getting this interest rate cut is because of the jobs revisions, right? 1 million less jobs. That's serious economic data showing weakness in the economy, right? So again, I'm not going to respond too much to that data, but as of right now, I'm seeing the market, seeing optimism in the interest rate cuts, but yet there's some underlying, conditions that are not necessarily too favorable in the market right now, right? And as you saw, the inflation data, the highest since January, 2.9%. It ticked up from 2.7% last month to now at 2.9. So if it ticks up anymore, we're going to be over 3%, right? And it's going to, unless there's some really, weak economic data, whether it's revisions, jobs, whatever it may be, It's really hard to justify an interest rate cut, right? So right now we are seeing some of that weak jobs data coming out because of those revisions, right? Which that's relatively new data. I think was that earlier this week or late last week? I forget. But so yeah, Ryan, please remember the day is young. Yes, Bill, the day is young. So I'm kind of in the mindset that this whole, optimism we saw yesterday, I don't see it coming to a whole lot of fruition just because of that weak economic data. Maybe the next jobs data can kind of, give us some more optimism, the over macroeconomic sense. But right now there are some concerns for that. So John, taking profits, selling in the strength, hey, that is an option. You see Tabula here says take profits, ? I say ride the horse till its hind legs give out, right? Everybody's different, right? Everybody is different. You ain't got to worry about what the next person is doing. You just got to worry about your portfolio, do what you're comfortable with, and see where you're at with your profits, right? I mean, think about it. The market's been on a big tear, big rally since, the tariff turmoil back in April. I know a lot of your stocks might be up. So if you do decide to take profits over the next week or two, hey, I'm not going to be mad at it, right? You can't go broke taking profits. And a Tabula, if you're trying to squeeze out the last few bucks in them, hey, I get it too, right? I get it too. You see, Bill says, yep, Tabula, go for it, right? As long as it's something you're comfortable with, right? But again, a lot of the stocks you guys have been showing me, I mean, some of these stocks are killers. I mean, they're up 40, 50, 60, 70% in just a few months, right? Taking some profit, some of them, the stocks you guys are talking about even up more than that, right? So again, if you're going to buy a dip, unless you got, more money you just put in your account, the only way you're going to do that is by, taking profits with cash, right? So it's good to take profits, get some cash at the top of the market. So that way when, rolls over and we get, some green lights or, some bottom fishing opportunities, hey, you go back in, right? And you don't have to put more cash in your portfolio. You took the profits from the high to get back in, right? And I'm not saying go out there and sell everything, right? But again, it's case by case, whatever you are comfortable with. And you got to say, hey, if you've already hit your objectives or some of your price targets and you're just trying to squeeze out the last few bucks, that's on you. But again, a lot of you have already hit your price targets. So, U12 players, age is just a concept to be ignored as much as possible. I could agree with that. Age isn't just a number. I know people that are much older than me that are, healthier and happier than people that are younger than me. So I'm going to, even Joey sells when the JPI, stop it, John. Joey's not even here. We got Clay in the house today. The JPI, yay, that should be the search. I should go tell Ray, the director of education, that we're not going to do the NPI speech. We're doing the JPI speech for Vegas, right? He'd probably lose his mind. But just being said, I mean, you can see the color guard there, right? A little hodgepodge of weakness, right? There's some caution to be taken of. And that's just really the story I want you to tell you. Because I don't want, the markets to roll over next month and everyone's like, oh, I should have sold. But right now, I'm not going to be in a rush to say, hey, go out there and sell stocks, right? Clay is using RNAI, Ryan AI, to sell his stocks. Oh, man. Oh, I will say this, because I was looking at some of these advertisements, but it looks like VectorVest has some, potential AI applications coming out in the future. I don't know if you guys have, seen some of those advertisements or whatnot, but it looks like some of this information we might be releasing in Vegas. So definitely check it out. It's going to be exciting, right? So not only are you going to be able to see some of the, the future projects of VectorVest that should be out, probably sooner than later, some of them, but also gain some information that can be used anytime, right? We try to share information that you can really just, utilize in your portfolio, utilize in your investment toolbox. That going forward. Bill says, I like Uber and Axon setting up in bases. I like Uber and Axon as well. Not gonna lie, those are good stocks. All right, let's take a look here. Declines down. Let's take a look at some stock pick ideas. See if there's any good stock picks in the VectorVest 7 system. First one, let's do high momentum stocks. All right. It looks like gold already taking a breather here. Actually a little mixed on gold. You can see Hella and IM Gold is in positive territory here. DR gold is down. I didn't look at gold price today, but I'd say it's probably relatively flat since the gold stocks are kind of mixed here. We've got Google. I like Google. I mean, I'm just going to put this on everybody's radar. This stock just keeps rocking and rolling here. It is undervalued. It's one of the most undervalued, if not the most undervalued Mag 7 stock. And I have a feeling that the price was being suppressed because of this whole antitrust case, right? And investors didn't know exactly how this was going to play. Are they going to lose Chrome? Are they going to lose some advertising data? Are they going to lose app sales, whatever it may be? But the news came out good, right? Pretty much said, hey, as long as you keep paying Apple, you'll be all right. And you can see the stock gapped up and momentum continuing here. But yeah, a great undervalued stock, a great momentum stock here. Strong buy rating. But yeah, it does look like gold's taking a little bit of a breather here, just scrolling down, which, that's fine. You can see it ran up a littake a little breather. It's nothing too crazy about that. Powell Industries. Let's take a look here. This is an expensive stock. I mean, that's a steady Eddie, lower left, upper right, since about June or July. The stock is still undervalued. Look at the valuation here. That's actually interesting. $414. We only valued at $281. Let's take a look at the forecasted data. Earnings growth rate, 29%. Hey, sales growth rate, that's the only bad thing here. It's -1, right? So not a bad stock to have on here. It's expensive, so if you don't have a whole lot of money, probably not the best stock. Ryan, I'm a big Google fan. I got that Google Pixel phone per your recommendation, and I like it, and it has Ryan AI built into the phone. I can use Gemini or Ryan AI. John, I love that phone because when I went traveling this past weekend, there was a certain point in the trip we didn't have a camera person, so I could take a picture of my girlfriend. We were at the beach, so she's on the beach, and then she grabbed the phone, and I got in right next to her, right? So we were able to get both of us in the photo with only one camera person, right? So it was really, really cool. But yeah, definitely good. I got Google early, up 105% now. I should take it off my table, or will it keep running? SF, you could use something like a 20-day EMA star search if you really want to capture this, last bit of exuberance. But you got to ask yourself, if you're swing trading, hey, maybe use a trend line. Like I said, some kind of short-term technical analysis. But if you're an investor here, that value is telling me that there's some upside potential. And if you can deal with a little pullback, maybe in the short term, that I personally think, Google's going to be, charging higher. So you really just got to ask yourself, are you a trader or are you an investor, right? If you're a trader, you know what technical analysis I use, right? Just stay disciplined, stick to it. If you're an investor, hey, maybe give a little bit more wiggle room, but I really like the value when it comes to Google in general. Use alerts to watch it. Yeah, Marvin, that's another good idea. You could use alerts as well, right through the app or in the VectorVest 7 system. They've got alerts there. Well, they're a little bit different. They're through the portfolio, so a little bit different. Ryan, I trusted your recommendation on the phone, so that is why I went out and got it. I was going to get a Motorola phone. I am team Android here. Oh, yes, we do have a super chat here. Oh, where's my mouse at here? Ali G? I'm 2006. Hopefully I didn't butcher that pronunciation. You gave me $2, man. What stock you want me to break down for you? What stock? Oh, I see it right here. DVLT. All right. Hold up. DVLT. Let's see here. This is a Data Vault. Okay. Ooh. I'll tell you right now, technicals not there. Look at the value though. I've said this yesterday. Any stock, under $1, under $2, penny stocks, realistically, right? Anything that's undervalued, look at the value here. We value at 81 cents. You know how strict our valuation is? It's really strict, right? I mean, you've seen it on Palantir and some of the other big names. This actually not bad. The trend ain't in our favor, right? If you're jumping into it, hey, you're catching a falling knife right now. Relative timing at 0.19. I get it if you don't want to wait for RT to go back above 1 because you'd probably lose a lot of upside potential there. See forecasted data, any good? Sales growth 403%, earnings growth 20%. The stock's undervalued right now. There's got to be something going. Well, the value's on the decline too, so that's one thing I don't like about this position, Ollie G. I do like the stock being undervalued, but with value on the decline, price action on the decline, I'm not quite there. What I'd like to see, and, obviously we can focus on price action breaking out from a prior high, something, basic like that. But what I would really like to see before I get optimistic, and this is actually Data Vault AI. It's got all the names there just to make it want to pop. You know, it's got data, it's got AI. So I like the name itself, right? Maybe get some retail trader attention. But this is what I want to see. I want to see value start ticking up, right? When value starts ticking up, I would look at this stock actually as a real investment opportunity. It's a dip, and yeah, it's still trending down. So, you know, whatever kind of confirmation you're looking for, you know, you can do 20, you can do a 40, you know, probably look at a 200 maybe. It could be below that. You know, you could get price action above it. But if I start to see value start turning around on this stock here, this is a cheap stock, 32 cents. We value it, double that price, actually double and a half, 80 something cents, right? What was it? Yeah, 81 cents. This is a good stock, a little early on me. But I think everyone here should probably put this in their watch list. It's a cheap stock, undervalued, great forecasted data. Just the trend is not in our favor right now. You could, you know, wait for it to go from a sell to a hold. Like I said, you use some basic technicals, see if, or break out from the prior swing high. But me personally, to get real enthused about this, I just want to see value tick back up. Other than that, I'm not going to overthink it. If I see value ticking up, because right now I'm seeing value is just on the decline, right? So investor enthusiasm is just on the decline, right? So if I need to get investor enthusiasm back in the picture, I need to get some value enthusiasm back in the picture. That's me personally. So, you know, me personally, look for the value to go up and then follow some technicals. But otherwise, you want to be more aggressive, just look at some technicals. But I'm not going to say buy it right now. I'm not going to say, maybe use a trend line on that. Actually, you probably use a trend line. I can already see the candlesticks. Maybe break above that trend line. All right. And then Ollie G here, you had one more stock. Oh, but yeah, this is a good one. I think this one should be on everyone's radar, but I don't know if you can do it, but look for value to tick up. If value could tick up, take out this prior swing high here, it's probably about 83 cents. That I could get excited about. And look at the earnings per share. It's going from negative. It's getting closer and closer to positive territory here. I like that. All right. So what's the next one here? NXTT. These are good ones. I feel like I've seen this one before. This is aggressive. I hope you didn't buy it at the top, because I see a wedge formation with a breakout to the downside of that wedge. I'm sure you guys can see that as well, right? And we are right. What is this? Low is 27, and we are high 18. So we are actually using this consolidation period now. We're broke below it. So, and we see this breakup or this jump up yesterday. Looks like it's getting rejection here. As far as this position here, you know, I'm not going to get too excited. That's a lot of pressure to the downside. That's a wedge formation, a clear break to the downside. You know, unless you use like maybe a trend line, or, you know, wait for price action and get back above the 20. As of right now, I'm seeing rejection at the prior consolidation before the jump back in April here. So just be careful of that one. All right. FCO Income Play just announced a merger with FAX. Now it has plummeted. Would you hang in there through the merger or sell? Let's take a look here. FCO? I haven't heard about that one. Aberdeen Global. Holy shit. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. But that was pretty big. That went from $6 and some change. Now it's just over $4. If you're holding this position here, I don't know if you're holding it, if you're thinking about buying the dip. If you're holding it, you got to ask yourself the pressure, you know, what maximum pain threshold, because it just keeps going down. It's that session lows today. You know, yesterday we got a bottom wick. Could have seen a little bit of optimism there. Today we just took out that bottom wick completely. So I am not going to advocate this position. If you're in it, you know, you got to really ask yourself at what point or what threshold, right? But I've seen people take stocks and write them down to a penny. You know, $5, $6 stock, write them down to a penny, right? So don't think that this stock can't go any lower. Calm down. Sorry, Alfred. Oh, yeah. I just started adding. There will be reverse stock split next week. All right. Their earnings was very good. FCO, was that earnings? Here, let me do this. FCO stock news. I wonder what's causing this. I took advantage of the news-driven dip for GAU yesterday. I got some calls up-handedly right now. Peter Blanco. No tabular. That wasn't a Ryanism. That was a slip-up. Oh, you just look at the Seeking Alpha article. It says global income fund countdown to zero. FCO trades at a record 115% premium to NAV, driven by an unsustainable 12.6 yield funded mostly by return of capital. A dividend cut, secondary offer, a merger is likely. I strongly recommend selling. Yeah, that's just what I'm reading. Seeking Alpha, nothing good there. So I again, you gotta ask yourself where you're at with your threshold of pain, right? And don't assume the stock can't keep going down. Reverse stock splits just give it more room to go down. Yes, Fitz, that is 100% true. Dennis says the Pixel 9 rocks. Yes, I saw the Pixel 10 coming out. I'm not upgrading to it. I just got one last year. But yeah, it's a great phone. It's a great phone. Let's see here. I used to be iPhone. I had the first iPhone up until 4S. And then I switched over to, was it the Samsung Galaxy family? I was on that for a little bit. And then now I'm over, what is it? Google Pixel. I was talking about NXTT. Oh, okay. Where's that one at? Actually, one thing I do want to see here, the value, 165. I was going to tell you, Ollie G, if this thing was overvalued, I wouldn't touch it. But look at the value there, 165 forecasted day, sales growth rate, earnings growth rate negative. It's not a bad stock. Not a bad stock. I mean, it's a lot of momentum. And you know it's aggressive just by looking at the chart here. But if it wasn't undervalued, I would not be paying it much attention. But with the value of 165 and currently only trading at 16 cents, I can't ignore that. Can't ignore that. All right, what time is it? 12:30. Let's see what other little stock pick ideas we have, and we'll get to your stocks. But yeah, that NXTT, with it being that much undervalued, I mean, I think it would be a good idea to look at it. You know, obviously right now, I know it's a little bit more aggressive than most like to see, but I think throwing it in a watch list, you know, maybe put a price alert on there, you know, any kind of breakout level, it might not be a bad idea with that kind of valuation. All right, so fiber optics, this is one of the hottest industries in the market right now. It's got one of the highest RTs. There's a couple stocks here we'll take a look at. First one's going to be CIEN here. See the stock overvalued, $69. Currently trading at $131, but earnings per share is rising. Look at that big gap up in it. Look at that. That's a big jump, too. I talked about, I did a video, I think it's pretty earlier this year, on fiber optic cables. Come to find out, most of our data is still through fiber optic cables, but you can see the momentum in all of these stocks here. A lot of momentum to the upside, especially in the last few months here. But one thing I do notice, there's no value in this space. All these stocks are overvalued. Look at this one, overvalued. That's $5 to 32 cents, way overvalued. Overvalued. No value at all. None of these are even close to their value. So you can see investors are willing to pay a premium. So you can find, you know, potentially some momentum there. Other hot industries. Let's see here. Internet service providers. We got Google, VNet, Zillow, NetEase. Interesting. We've talked about Google. Still got that momentum to the upside. Still undervalued. Still one of my favorite Mag 7 picks right now. VNet. Look at that. Nice breakout from the prior swing high, up 4% today, currently at $9.50. I do like this trade setup, actually. Here is Zillow. Zillow's just steady Eddie, moving lower left, upper right. Investors are paying a premium at it, but I do like the value ticking up a little bit. EPS also ticking up. Here's XNet. Look at the value. This is actually interesting. Look at the value on that. The value went from less than $5. And you can see something happened with the stock. It just jumped up 3 big days in a row, gaps on all 3 of them. But the stock's undervalued now. And look at the earnings per share. Big jump in that as well. I don't think this stock is done quite yet. Honestly, it looks like it's shaping up a nice flag pattern. I can see the pole. I see the flag there, the consolidation to the side. So, just draw your lines on there. Wait for the breakout. But honestly, with that value jumping up like that gets me excited. And I know it's not, stock less than $2, but $7 stock, that value's jumping up quite a bit. So that could be kind of a momentum play or an investment. And you can see the moving averages coming right to that 20. And again, the 20 days usually when price action likes to pick a direction. So if you see a pivot come off of that, again, this is XNet, might not be a bad trade setup, especially if we get, some green lights in the color guard next week. Zillow, lower left, upper right. Why was there two of these? Oh, that's right. There's two symbols. I forgot about that. But yeah, value's ticking up. Same scenario as the other one. NetEase, look at that momentum. Breakout from the consolidation here. You can see the breakout of that resistance zone. If you don't want to chase it, hey, wait for a pullback potentially to hit that level of support now. Smooth Comfort Search does a great job. Yes, market does. That focuses on CI. It helps you find, nice, smooth chart graphs. It helps you find stocks that are already doing what you want them to do, right? And I remember, this is way back then when I first started at VectorVest. Dr. Toledo, I remember hearing his speeches, how so many people buy stocks that they're not doing what they want them to do, right? It's going down. They buy it guessing that it's going to change, right? I get it. Buying the dip. It's a very popular theory. But Dr. Toledo made it very simple. He said the stock is going up. Just buy the stock. And when it stops going up, sell the stock. Buy stocks that are doing what you already want them to do, right? It's not a guessing game. The only guess is when to get out, right? You're not having to guess to get in because the stock's already moving up. Mark Daniel, thanks for reminding me. I have not looked at Smooth Comfort in a decade. Actually, I haven't looked at it in a while either, but it does focus on CI, and CI is a great way to find some great stock candidates for your portfolio. CI for me personally, I look at it as like the relative safety for technical analysis, right? So you could even take, RS times CI in a search or, a stock view or whatever it be and get both attributes. So you get fundamental safety and technical safety together. Not a bad idea as well. I think there's actually some searches pre-made that focus on that type of strategy. All right, let's see here. We got Siffy. That's a cool name. All right, Siffy looks like it's trying to accumulate around the 8-day EMA right now. A little pressure on that. We've got a bottom wick there. We also got an upper wick. 1178, way overvalued. Earnings per share is dropping right now. What's this zone here? Yeah, the 20-day is broken through this support zone. See, I'm liking this 8-day accumulation period. Not a bad stock. Here's Weibo, WB. Look at this, lower left, upper right. Now the value is, it took a breather. But look, it's taken back up. We value the stock over $13, currently trading at $12. Earnings per share, not the best, but it's not the worst either. Buy rating here. Here's Compass. Let's go to 1 year. That looks like a cup. Doesn't that look like a cup? Looks kind of cupish to me. Looks like it's going into the handle formation now. So this actually could be a breakout. This is one I'd probably put on your radar. See if we do get a breakout, but it looks like a cup. It looks right now we're in the handle phase, right? So see what happens with this handle. See if we get a breakout. And if there's some momentum here, this could be a nice short-term momentum play. We've got Sohu. Look at Sohu. Look at the value rising right up at the price action here. So even after the run, you're still getting a fair price on it. Ziff David, undervalued. We see the consolidation at the bottom here. Looks like price action trying to tick up here, accumulating right back at that 20-day. Yep, you can see that there. So I just want to get price action, stay above it. Where's the Smooth Comfort Search? That is going to be in VectorVest 7. I forgot which folder it's in. If anyone knows, will you type it in the comment section? It might be prudent or conservative searches. Or you could just switch it to alphabetical listing and then go right to C for comfort. But if you do know where it's at, which folder it's at, will you please put that in the comment section? This one's all over the place, so we're going to skip that one. No volume there. Ooh, looks interesting. No. Definitely not. This could be a good short candidate, actually, especially if it breaks out of this channel that it's currently in right now. I could see this as a good short candidate. No. All right. We had some good ones on there. The last few, not so good. What else we got on here? Let's go to premium watch list. Let's take a look at the gold, because I saw gold pulling back. Actually, let's do semiconductors, gold, and then we'll go to your stocks. All right, Micron, look at that, up another 4% today. Wow, let's get close to 160. Broadcom, 362, 70.78% here. I've been doing a lot of research on Broadcom. They have it's a monopoly on, I think it's the Ethernet switches. And the thing about them is even their competitor, so A-Lab here, perfect example for this. So Astera Labs, their Ethernet switches, I'm pretty sure it's their Ethernet switches, they get from Broadcom. So Broadcom actually provides their competitors with the equipment. So Broadcom's a smart play. Right now, it's a little stretch for my liking. If you're in it, hey, I don't think it's over yet. The more I find out about Broadcom, the better. I see them as the leading domestic chip fab right now. NVIDIA, even though they're the leader, but they partner with TSM, Taiwan Semi. See, I remember that Ryan was the first to tell us about VectorVest 7. Oh, you mean VectorVest 8, the web app thing? Yes, I did sneak that out there for you guys. But looking at these others here, just looking at semiconductors in general, mixed bag, but mostly that mix is going to be to the upside. NVIDIA's up. Any big mover? This is the biggest mover so far. ASYS. Woo! Look at this one. It's overvalued now. There was some value in there, but not anymore. $4.32 what we value it. Currently trading at $9.42. It's up another 7% today. If we look at forecasted data, sales growth rate negative, earnings growth rate 25%. It's a little mixed bag there, but that's a lot of momentum. Maybe use Star Search for that one. ASML's up a little bit here. Interesting. Ooh, Veritone. Look at the little Veritone here. Big day for that. I do see an upper wick there, so I'm not quite sold on that one yet. Sear laser. All right. Not much action on the semiconductor front. So let's take a look at some gold and silver stocks here. These have been doing pretty well. Actually, really all year. They had a couple breathing points, but for the most part, they keep moving up. Kinross Gold up 0.5%. Helka Mining up 1.5%. For the most part, it looks like gold stocks are okay today. Even the ones that are down, not down by much, just shy of 2% are the leaders to the downside right now. Thoughts on Yield Max ETFs? Mark, Yield Max ETFs are very volatile. I wouldn't rush to buy them, but there's a lot of different ways these yield maxes operate, right? So I can't just glump them up, but if you look at them, a lot of the underlying asset is down quite a bit. Even I know they pay quite a bit of dividends, but the underlying asset's quite a bit. Let's see here. What was I doing? Oh, DraftKings. I'm gonna do it on me because we're going into football season here. Looks like that stop price is rolling over quite a bit. It just broke the 20-day. EMA, you can see it's trying to find a level of support there. There's two levels. That wick is going right at both of them here. PLTY is doing awesome. Like I said, they're all different. But as far as DraftKings here, it's still trading at a premium. Let's take a look. Rising earnings here. Yeah, about $42. Let's see here. Yeah, 42.78 was that resistance coming in. So that's where my cutoff is, about $2 less than it is right now. So DraftKings got to get its act together soon, or I do see that price action potentially going back into the 30s. Yeah, DraftKings, it's all over the place. I think the move was getting into it over the summer, in before football season, right? Now that football season's over, it's kind of like sell the news. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Looks like people are selling the news. They kind of pumped it up going into football season, and now that football season has started, it's kind of rolling over here. Any way to get the VV7 beta? I signed up in April, and we got a few emails about it, but have but don't have access yet. I don't have the information on the beta. You would have to call customer support as far as the beta testing with VV7, Peter. But yeah, give them a call and they can help you out and give you any kind of updates that you may need to take advantage of that. All right, let's create a watch list. Let's see here, watch list. My watch list. We'll add. All right. Is it 1241? All right, so let's do 15 stocks today. First 15 stocks coming across the comment section. SF, I am not going to do Micron. I've covered Micron so much on this channel. I like Micron. That's all you need to know about it. As far as, the traders, I see the momentum there. Look at something like Star Search, the 20-day EMA. As far as investors, I'm all in on Micron. I like Micron. It's from an investment perspective. All right. Let's put these in here. We got LRN, CNC, GSOL, UNH, AMSC, American Semiconductor. I wonder what that one's been doing. We got Silver, SLV, SSK, CNC, PLTR. Actually, I'm going to add PLTY. I just want to compare the two. Sound, SOUN. Sounds already in there. We got hymns. NFG. I think this will be the last one here. All right, that's 16. What's today's date? 09/12. All right, here we go. 16 stocks as I added PLTY. That's the yield max for Palantir. So we can see the two next to each other, get a sense. All right, first one up, we got AMSC. I will say, you can see that price action now back above the 20-day. Overvalued. You see the stock definitely trading at a premium. If I had to guess, probably because of the name itself here, American Semiconductor. Sales growth, 80%. Earnings growth rate, 40%. Those are phenomenal numbers here. Even though the stock is overvalued, I'm going to give it the benefit of its doubt with price action above the 20-day. I like it. I definitely like it. Now, I've talked about this before. There's this cup here in the middle, right? We hit the target objective of this cup. Oh, back here, this resistance, right? So if you're not in this stock, I'm not going to tell you to buy it, right at resistance, right? Break resistance, get some confirmation. Could be a short-term momentum trade, right? Otherwise, if you're in it and you see a whole lot of rejection in the near future, act accordingly or whatever you're comfortable with, right? But stock is overvalued. It's got rising earnings, got great forecasted data. The only caveat, only negative thing about it is just overvalued. Other than that, you can see the chart. It's a beautiful chart. Here's GILT, the satellite networks. That's my favorite chart pattern. Value rise and price action rising. I'd put this one on your radar. I mean, we value stock over $13. Got rising earnings per share. The momentum is there with this position. You can see it just building support after support. This might be another level. This probably be the next level support here. That high is around $9.82. So if you do see it come back to $10, it's probably trying to find a level of support there. Look for a pivot. Could be a good entry opportunity. Here is Grayscale. That's a rising. We talked about this the other day. There's a rising wedge or rising triangle, whatever you want to call it. The breakout clear as day, right? So if you're in it, You know, if you're just trying to trade it, maybe use Star Search, help capture momentum. Maybe you tighten up the moving averages, whatever you want to do. I like Solana, and you know I like crypto. It's got a strong buy recommendation, so I like it. You know, if you got some patience and you want to buy on a pullback potentially, hey, if it decides to come back, I could treat this once was level resistance, as now is level support. So it could come back to try to find that. Here's LRN. Stock just kind of its own way. The moving average is giving me a little bit more of a bearish inclination here, but it's well undervalued, rising earnings per share. Just from a fundamental standpoint, value standpoint, good stock to have on your radar. And even the price action, lower left, upper right, does have some drawdown, but still good stock there. Now here's Frequency Electronics, lower left, upper right. Sell off today. I like that value here. Now, as far as any kind of level support, what's this high here? Oh. High is 29.53. We're actually in that right now. What's today's? The close or the open was 28.46. So yeah, that open is where I think we might find some support. If you see a bottom wick, if you see some turnaround come next week, it might be looking for a level support here very, very soon off this prior swing high. Now here is Osprey. This stock, a lot of momentum to the upside. Went from the 20s, now approaching the 40s here. You can see the moving averages all in the favor of the bulls. As far as earnings per share, it's flat. So this, this is the ETF. This is going to be a Solana staking. So probably some kind of dividend aspect here. But you can see the chart pattern, just like Solana, that rising triangle breaking out to the upside here. So I do like that. Here's HIMS. HIMS showing a double bottom here. Momentum today. We're right at a level of resistance here. So let's see if we can break it. But I do like we've got no bottom wick, no upper wick right now. No inclination that there's going to be any rejection here. Full-bodied candlesticks. I do like this position. Actually, it's got a fresh buy rating on the stock today. So if you're looking for an early entry point on HIMS, not a bad idea. Here's UNH. You can see the value just continuing to drop there. But look at price action rising now closer to 350. Currently at 358. If you're looking to buy the dip on here, the dip of the dip, I should say, look for price action to come back down here and retest this support level, right? Where it was resistance, but now it's level support. Earnings per share is falling, values falling. I don't know. Because that value fell, I don't think it's the value play everyone thinks it is. But I get why people are pouring into it. And hey, I'm not going to fight the trend of that. As long as it stays above the 20-day moving average, I'll play with the bulls. Let's see here. Here's NFG. Natural fuel gas company. Stock hasn't done a whole lot over the last few months here, but look at that value. Just keeps ticking up and up. It's actually over 120 bucks now. Earnings per share is up. I was going to say this. Well, this stock breaks out to the upside. I think it's really going to break. And it's looking like that breakout level is around $90. So we are at the level of resistance right now at 88.18. Let's get above 90 before we get too enthusiastic. If you're already in this position, I have a feeling it's going to probably break out to the upside. But again, I got no crystal ball, but I like what I see here. Earnings per share also rising. Now here's SMCI. I'm really not going to get too enthused about this dip until we start entering this gap. You can see the resistance right there at that level of the gap. So it's going to be around 50 bucks. So I want to see some price action a little bit higher. I mean, look, value's declining, earnings per share is declining. And then it's a very volatile position. If you're in it, my goal would be to try to get in there less than 40 bucks. So if you are in there less than 40 bucks, you're probably sitting pretty good. Otherwise, we really just want price action to get back in that channel. Because if it gets back in the channel, the bulls might want to fill that gap. And that would get price action, back closer to 60 bucks, which would be a good thing for the bulls. So here's Palantir. You can see Palantir here. It flirted with breaking out to the downside of that channel. Never really did it too much. It's back in the channel here. You can see the moving averages back in the favor. Found a nice level of support around 150. Rising earnings per share. So let's take a look at the yield max. We see Palantir's rising. Where'd yield max go? Here we go. The yield max has done nothing. $60 over the last 6 months, right? Palantir went from $90 to $180. It's doubled, right? Bill says PLTY was way down yesterday due to going ex-dividend paid today. Ah, okay. Gotcha. But yeah, I like the price action there of Palantir, but that can be dangerous, right? I mean, think about if you just bought that sucker at 70 or 80 bucks and now you're sitting at 60, right? I would not buy these yield maxes on the Optimism. I would try to get as low as you can and collect that premium, because you don't. Some of these yield maxes, I mean, they're down well more than this one's down, 80 to 60. That's about, a quarter, so 25%. A lot of them are down much more than that. PLTY, figuring in the dividend, we are up 60% on PLTY. Okay. But yeah, it's all about the dividend strategy, right? And that's a big gap down. I don't know. Be careful with those yield maxes. I'm still a little nervous on them. But I get it. I mean, a lot of them are paying 40, 50, 60% dividends. So I get it. If you can get them at a good deal, probably not the worst idea. Here is SoundHound AI. Look at that momentum. Lower left, upper right. The stock didn't really have a whole lot going for it, but now it seems to be moving a little bit more here. Price action above the moving averages. I do like that. It's just overvalued. EPS. Let's go to a year chart here. Yeah, as you can see, it's that sentiment starting to finally come back in here. But the value is just going nowhere, right? They got a partnership with NVIDIA, so they got a lot of reasons, to amp up retail investors and whatnot. But as far as, fundamentals, it's not there. Stick to the technicals on that one. Here's Centene Corp. Value declining, price declining. I don't like anything about it. Look at the earnings per share, big drop. After that gap down, I can't get excited about this. I mean, let's see here. The only thing I get excited about is if we enter that gap, there's a big gap to fill. But I'm not going to rush to guess if we're going to get into that gap. So we actually got a gap to the downside now as well, if you notice, right? So we got a gap to the downside, which is where we're aiming towards, but then we have a gap to the upside. But as of right now, no, I'm not going to say I advocate getting into Centene. Whew. That's an ugly chart. It's an ugly chart. This is a swing trading stock here, and it looks like we're setting up for a swing trade right now, right? See the moving averages? As of right now, we're at a level of resistance, and we got a 20-day moving average at that resistance level, so I could see some rejection. We're seeing a little bit of that come to fruition today. But overall, a lot of momentum to the downside. That is a trader's stock right there. Just make sure you stick to whatever technicals you use. But overall, I mean, you can see over the last year, the stock is up, from $10 to $70. Very volatile position. You can see it's been pumped before, right? So don't forget to dump it after it gets pumped, because you don't want to be on the dump side of this one. Is that it? Oh, TNXP was the last one. No wonder the stocks got real bad there towards the end. Like Centene Corp. Palantir just turned back to a buy rating. Again, the day is young. Bill, it's definitely young. Definitely young. MJ, 16% yield ETF. Nice. Figuring in the dividend, yeah. Tabula. What did you say, Tabula? I don't know where that one is at. All right. But yeah, let's see here. Let's see where we're at. Let's go back to the market overview. And Clay, the power hour today, that's dual stream today? That's going to be on both?
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, so just give you guys a heads up. Since we do the power hour every other Friday at 2 o'clock today, it is going to be dual stream, both on YouTube and in the community room. So everyone will be able to give me their stock picks. So if I didn't get to your stock pick today, check out power hour at 2 p.m. And I'm almost positive, but SLV was in that list. Pretty sure it was. So I remember you submitted it. Yes, silver. It's there. I mean, that's a beautiful chart. Lower left, upper right, hit another high today. I mean, I've been saying this for the last month or two. As long as they're talking about tariffs in the news and, $37 trillion in debt, I see silver and gold doing all right. I see them doing all right. Doing all right. All right, so I do apologize if I did not get to your stocks. We took 15 there. Try to cover those as fast as we could. 2 o'clock, hour from now. Check us out. We'll be in the community room and on YouTube, and that's all we do in the Power Hour. We don't, I don't like to lollygag. I go right into your stock picks. So we've been hitting some good numbers. I think last week when after Glenn's appearance, what did we hit? Like 52? We tried to get excited for Glenn. So that was quite a bit. Green Dean says the double dose. Is defense making a comeback? Tabula, you know what? Get ready. Let's talk about defense stocks at 2 o'clock. Everyone down for that? We didn't get to spend the whole time on it, but we're going to talk about defense stocks at 2 o'clock, so come check us out. Peter Blanco says, I missed that. How is it going? Glenn is doing great. If you did miss it, this stream last Friday, last 10 minutes, he does make an appearance, and I'm already going to forewarn you, it is emotional. It's very powerful, but it is emotional. So again, just go to last Friday's video. It should still be there because everyone said it's okay. But yeah, he's doing good. It's just good to hear his voice. So if you did not get to hear his voice, if you did not get to see him, just go to last week's Friday video. Check it out. I know you guys love him to death, and he just shows you guys all the love in the world in that video. So, give him a shout out. And I will see you guys at 2 o'clock. So you got an hour. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out and come back at 2 o'clock and let me know what you think. But it was a very powerful message he sent. A lot of love. All right. On that note, guys, everyone enjoy your weekend. If you're not going to be at the 2 p.m. video, the 2 p.m. Power Hour, we'll check you out next week. Otherwise, everyone coming in at 2 p.m., bring some defense stocks because that is a great point. We're going to talk about defense stocks today. All right, everybody, see you in an hour. Take care. Bye.